Good morning, everyone. Hope you're enjoying yourselves so far, and what a great start to day two. We have another interesting topic to kick off the discussions this morning. We are talking about the role of insurtechs in insurance distribution, and we have a quite apt panel to give us different perspectives from all sides. I'm Ajit Rochlani. I'm a principal in the insurance practice at Oliver Wyman here in Singapore. I'll let the panel first introduce themselves.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sherry, the Managing Director of RGX Asia Pacific. So RGX is the transformation engine of RGA. I think you all know RGA, right? We're a leading life and health reinsurer. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Philippe Vezio, Deputy CEO of Tokio Marine Asia, based in Singapore. I'm in charge of the P&C business in the region. And we basically do all the P&C class, whether it's retail, SME, large account.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Cindy, co-founder and CEO of Sunday. We're a full-stack InsureTech, operational in Thailand and Indonesia. We focus on three key verticals, ecosystems in Southeast Asia, which is health insurance, electric vehicles, and gadgets and smartphones. Nice to meet you, everyone.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Anand. I'm from Turtlemint, co-founder of Turtlemint. Turtlemint is a distribution player based out of India. We've built a network of agents. We have 250,000 advisors. And we've enabled them with tools to manage their business, to take the best experience to their customers. We believe insurance is a fairly complex product, especially in a market like India. And we are trying to get insurance distribution, like the earlier guest mentioned, to the underserved users through our network of advisors.
Thank you, everyone. From my perspective, insurtechs are already playing a role in all segments of distribution. In fact, in every aspect of the value chain. We have two of the hottest insurtechs from the region on the panel. So maybe let's get perspectives from them in terms of their first-hand experience of what they are seeing. So Cindy, if you can start with you.
Sure. Well, I think Southeast Asia, there's a lot of opportunities here. I mean, we're talking about a very low penetrated region with insurance penetration by GDP less than 1%, even in a lot of markets like Thailand and Indonesia. And I think, and it's a very big emerging market. And I feel that with InsureTech, our role is how do we fast speed, this penetration rate, and how do we then reach consumers now that were never reachable before. Because insurance companies and the entire industry was focused on the people who could actually earn and afford it. But now there are so many new economies, new services, coming up, exploding in Southeast Asia. So many people on mobile apps. There's so many things that you can do. So I feel that the role of InsureTech is definitely to, number one, how do we make insurance available in ecosystems, right? And also in the future, I think as consumers become more sophisticated, you're talking about new generations now who may want to have that direct interaction and that direct purchasing power. So yeah, I think there are so many different types of insurtechs here. I still feel that in terms of distribution, it's an omni-channel. I think it's a mass product. Everyone, depending on what type of profile you belong to, you want to buy it from an agent still, you want to buy it direct, I want to buy it from my telco, or so on and so forth. So I think that would be our role in Southeast Asia. Yeah.
Maybe if I can ask Anand to also share his experience.
So we, of course, when you look at technology and distribution, I think the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is looking at what's happened in e-commerce, for example, where people are going and buying products on their own, is direct to consumer. And in insurance, it's a product which is fairly complex, not internal motivated people to go and do it, but there is a small segment of people who are definitely interested in doing insurance by themselves. And I think the opportunity over there is in creating, I think, simple products that people can understand and have the confidence to buy on their own. And then also a frictionless, seamless, simple experience so that somebody can go and do this on themselves. And I think there's still a lot of opportunity on the direct-to-consumer side in terms of solving these problems. The other segment is the agents and advisors, which is how primarily insurance gets distributed even today, and that's something that we have focused on. And here you're dealing with a very, I would say, a professional user, so to speak, right? Advisors, they know know insurance at the back of their hands. They're demanding in terms of what they need, in terms of products, in terms of being able to create solutions. They're looking for tools. In terms of lead management, customer engagement, so a lot of marketing kind of support and process management, including claims, is something that becomes important for this segment. And again, we've been trying to solve some of the problems in these areas, including creating new agents, bringing new agents, which is a big challenge for most of the sector today. And then I think the third major segment, which a lot of companies are focusing on, is embedded insurance, where the need kind of gets established in the consumer's mind. They're buying something valuable, they want to protect it. The challenges there are in terms of, I think, product innovation. There are so many areas where insurance is not getting embedded today, APIs and so on. So many opportunities in that area as well.
Thanks, Indy. Thanks, Anand. It's clear that the InsurTechs are playing a role in pretty much all aspects of distribution. Maybe, Philip, if I can get you to share perspectives from an insurer's perspective.
Yeah. We do work a lot with InsureTech, so there is no question that every aspect of our job is impacted. Pricing, underwriting, claims, processing, etc. So we do partner with InsureTech because of the speed. It's much quicker to get something done by an InsureTech than by ourselves, and we learn from that. And I think that the impact of the InsureTech will not be the same if you talk about the retail business, the SME business, or the large account business. If we just look at the retail business, it's everywhere. And actually, we work with a few InsureTech that are here. We have developed some app for our network of agents where you can train them, outbound them, they can price the risk, they can issue the policy, etc. And this aspect allows them to produce more business, to spend more time on a client that actually buy insurance, and that's critical for them, it's critical for us as well. We also use InsureTech to contact our insured. We use a lot of chatbot, voice bots, and it does bring something. First, we can serve our clients very well. The chatbot, voice bot, the voice is actually extraordinarily human. You can make much more phone calls, and it costs you much less. So there is no question that the InsureTech is going to have a massive impact. But we should not forget something. We are insurer. Our job is to make a profit based on the risk that we take. When you have an InsureTech or a broker, their job is to place a risk. We are taking the risk. So I think that where we have a challenge is that sometimes it's not possible to make a profit on the risk, and we can not price it the way that you would like. And I'm not going to go on the earthquake, on the flood, etc. But our exposure is actually much bigger now than it used to be. So I think that we are happy to work with InsureTech, and we will work probably more and more. But I think that we need to find a way to have both things.
Thank you, Philip. Sherry, at RGX, you get to look at the ecosystem from a very broad point of view.
Yeah.
So would be interesting to get your views on how do you see the role of InsureTechs?
Sure. In RGX, we're part of the reinsurer, right? So we do see, we deal with the innovation every day. And we do see, the insurance industry now benefit from more and more from the InsureTech, the big data, and also the fast-growing ecosystem. A lot of partners that we can work with. So as a reinsurer, we see a lot of value to working with the players in the large ecosystem, from the giant technology companies, the startups, the distribution, and the health services partners, or even the data sources. So a lot of things that we can work together. So with all this combined together and combined with the insurance and the reinsurance knowledge on the risk part, on how to run the insurance, that we see we can really combine them to make broader solutions to the market to give the end customer a better protection product or services. We especially pay attention to those underserved market. So for example, we have a recent success in China. We launched the first in the market, the senior medical protection product, which provide the CI, the medical reimbursement to the senior citizens and the impaired lives. So we can offer that to a massive protection and also to very high entry age. And those part of the people, usually they are not very well protected by the insurance. So usually the very senior and impaired lives, they're not, categorized as the best risk category from the direct company's point of view. But we think they do need the protection. So what we can do for them? So by doing that, actually, we really work closely with multiple stakeholder or partner together, with the direct companies, with the leading digital distribution channel, with the nationwide health services provider, and of course, a lot of technology InsureTech companies say we use the AI and machine learning, we use OCR NLP to really digitize and structure the data, all the medical data, all the personal data, and also linking that to our next generation data-driven underwriting platform. And with the RGA's expertise, we designed a special product together. So all of these different shining components, we're putting them together so that we can offer to the market to address those needs. We can offer actually not only the protection itself, but also at affordable price, at a very easy onboarding underwriting system. So that make some, how I say that, kind of early sign of the success, what we can do really from the direct company, reinsurer, and also all these InsureTech players together. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Clearly, there's a lot of action happening. The panel touched upon what's happening in different markets, in different income segments, in different pockets of an insurance company versus an InsureTech. I think the important point is how do we make sure that this is happening at scale? There are still a lot of challenges in trying to do everything at scale. So it'll be interesting to get perspectives from Anand yourself from an InsureTech point of view, and then maybe Philip from yourself from an insurer point of view.
Yeah, I think technology is kind of the answer, I think, to get scale. But you also have to make sure that the technology addresses the various players in the ecosystem. Like Philip mentioned, as an insurer, when they're looking at distribution, they want to make sure that you're getting high quality customers. You understand the risks well before the customer is onboarded. And so it's not just, as a distributor, not just enough to solve for the problem of, reach. For example, while you're solving for, reach, you also have to solve for, and insurers need to be able to do better underwriting. So how can you support in terms of better data collection, in assessment of the customer? How can technologies, be used towards that? And lots of stuff, around KYC, around, image processing and so on, that can be used. You need to integrate, for example, the healthcare ecosystem to be able to underwrite risk. And, also need to be, solving for, of course, the customers' problems, in this whole process, in terms of need analysis, in terms of being able to recommend products. So technology can play a role in all of these pieces. And then you can, scale the business.
Philip?
Absolutely, I fully agree. I think we want speed and a good quality of service, and that's critical to us. The reality is that we have to deal with IT system, legacy system, which are going to slow down the speed that we would like. And we also have to deal with people. And I think that when you start talking about changes, then you have these two big issues that you have to deal with. And the people is not only our people, it's agent people, that the customer as well, that they need to be educated on the product, the way they are going to buy it, the way they have to handle the claim, etc. So, yes, we want speed, we want good quality, and but the speed will be probably adjusted to the speed of each insurance. And I think that depending on the place where we are, depending if you own your own legacy system or if you bought two companies a few years ago and you still need to integrate them, it's become more complicated. The truth is that we all aim for the same things. We all want to get speed, good quality service, and profit. That's the thing that we want. And I do believe that it will come. There is no question on this.
Yeah, it's interesting that technology is the answer to most of the challenges, but you need to make the technology work with the people and with the organization. So I think if the panel can share some views on what should we be expecting in the near future, in the next couple of years, what's going to change and how are some of these challenges going to be resolved? Maybe Cindy, if I can get you in first on this.
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, in our 4 to 5 years experience operating in the two largest economies in ASEAN, trying to champion and promote this InsureTech space and also overall promote insurance as a product to everyone in the population. What I do see, and I think we can expect more, is that every single industry, no matter where you belong to, right? We're talking about healthcare, automotive, telco, e-commerce, ride-hailing, everything, payments, wallets. They're all trying to create their own ecosystem, value add to their subscribers, their customer base. I think, and when we talk to all of them, insurance is a key piece of it. It's always either gaming, payments, lending, and then insurance comes, right? So it's there. I think we can expect a lot of that. So I feel that one of the key new type of distribution channel will be embedded insurance. But I totally agree that we're a long way to go. The question that we always ask is, I mean, InsureTech in this region has been around for more than 10 years, but why do we not see a higher conversion, right, to make it scalable enough to make it economically viable for our insurance partners as well? So I think the key that the panel brought up today is very important. It's all about the people as well. It's execution. How do we design a simple enough customer journey that we can push this kind of product? Because again, insurance needs to be pushed, right? Not everyone wakes up one day to say, I need protection. So we need to work very closely with our partners to draw up a customer journey that it's so contextual for them that it's just brainless. And how do we then, I mean, you touched on product innovation that totally makes sense. How do we package it differently so that it's more easily consumable as well? So that's definitely one thing. But I mean, InsureTech is huge, right? Besides distribution, at the end of the day, we're also selling a product that is a service. You're not buying a phone that is a hardware like Apple. So I feel like InsureTech also needs to work very closely with insurance companies to make the entire service more compelling, more remote, more within the control of our consumers. So I think that, yeah, we have a lot of work to do, but I think those are the two key themes that we can expect for the future or the near future in ASEAN. Yeah.
Thanks, Cindy. Sherry, you get to see a lot of innovation firsthand. What do you think we can expect in the next few years?
Yeah, in the next few years, right? So my view is the InsureTech will continue grow and grow fast, even the impact of the COVID. We hear that some of the startups, they might just a little bit struggle with the funding thing, but I do see in general, the InsureTech scene will continue grow and continue making impact to the insurance industry. So which is a positive thing, very good. On the other hand, actually, I think I couldn't agree more with Philip and my other colleagues on this, how I say that. So InsureTech or the new technology, I think they definitely bring in a lot of value to the insurance. And as we deal with day-to-day, the innovation, I wouldn't think, we're short of the good ideas or even ready new technology. They are all shining. But I guess the key challenges to all of us will be how to make it implement, execute, and let it continue grow and scale up in the large, say, organizations. Right? So Philip mentioning on that. So the large corporate, for example, they might have existing IT, the procedures, the process, and people get used to do like our old school. I wouldn't really say old school, but our normal life, right? So we continue with that.
You can say it.
And I hear quite a lot of like the people mindset change needed, because how you make the InsureTech really survive in this kind of a bigger environment. It's not only the technology integration, it's a lot of people mindset change. I hear quite often like someone say, oh my God, the machine can do something better than me, quicker, and even like low cost, less human error, never have a sick leave, right? So, oh wow, I'm gonna lose my job or what? But actually, I think is the journey of the change, and a lot of work we need to still do to really manage all this, the change management and people's mindset. I guess everyone will need to just accept that the InsureTech going to continue grow and impact our industry, you like it or not. So accept that happily, use it, and try to drive it to make a better, industry for us. Yeah.
We've started getting a few questions. I'll try to weave them in as we go through the discussion. One of the questions is about the role of InsurTechs in distribution in the commercial segment. There has been a lot of focus on the retail segment, but it'll be interesting to maybe, Philip, get your views on the role of InsurTechs in the commercial segment.
It does play a role as well. We developed a platform on InsureTech to sell to SME. And actually, but you need to get a simple product with a simple pricing, and you can do property insurance, EB insurance, whatever you can do. But it has to be simple because people don't want to answer too many questions, etc. So yes, it is playing a role. It's going to increase, that there is no question on this, but you need to educate people before. And once you have done this job, after it will come. But we do sell SME through InsureTech platform, etc. Yes.
One of the questions is the consumer trust on claims a challenge? Is it still a challenge? So is that the reason why people still rely on traditional distribution channels?
Yeah, I mean, that's I think one of the primary reasons. I mean, in insurance, you're paying premiums, right, all the time. And then there is some time in the future which you don't know when it's going to come, but you're expecting a big payout. But that payout comes with a bunch of terms and conditions. And a customer, is always worried whether they understand those terms and conditions or not, right? So unless the products become really simple, but if you make it simple, you're opening the funnel wider to, all kinds of risks. So we got to figure out how those terms and conditions go away. But until then, you need an expert to guide you through it. And this expert also offers to help you at the time of claims. And so, that's why we see that in India, even if people want to try and understand insurance, they feel just safer to go to an expert who can be there at their beck and call at the time of claim. So it's like outsourcing the decision to an expert is important.
Thanks, Anand. Philip, you earlier spoke about placing the risk versus underwriting the risk, and the difference between what happens at the front end on distribution versus what happens at the back end when the insurance company is underwriting it. So one of the questions is around, we see a lot of InsureTechs going full stack. So how do insurers see that trend? Maybe it'll be good to get Philip and Sherry's views.
I believe more in a partnership because we are not an IT company, we are not an InsureTech company. So if we start doing this part of the job, first we are going to spend a lot of money and it's not going to work very well and the speed will not be there. So I think it's much better to partner someone who is bringing something that you don't know than doing the full stack. And I think that it also works for the InsureTech side. You have seen some InsureTech being insurer, and they have some issue to make money because of the scale, reinsurance, the complexity of the business, the exposure to all the flood, the catnat, etc. So I think that we should stick to where we are good at. And I think that if you do this, then you get the best outcome for the InsureTech is to actually support the business and get paid for that. And as insurer, we improve our services, we improve our product, and normally we should improve our profitability as well. But just to say on the claims things, we pay a lot of claims to an extent that we don't make money sometimes. But I think that we don't do a good job in explaining how much we are paying, why we are not paying. And I think that the InsureTech world can definitely help us to pay the small claims that create a lot of frustration because the value of the claim is small and the time you have to spend just to get it paid is disproportionate. So I think that on these things, we definitely need to work more with InsureTech. AI is actually playing a key role on this, but for the complex claim that you will still have loss adjuster or lawyers, whatever, etc.
Sherry, you get to see all archetypes of InsureTechs. What do you think of that?
Yeah, as we say, that insurance is really a long journey from customer engagement to, issue the policy, the right product, underwriting, risk control, and then to, the claim management. Well, we say that the claims usually is kind of the end or like a very late stage of the journey. And sometimes we see that our claims are very high, or is the claim behavior not really as our expectation. So many times we think, at that stage you start to make the management maybe too late. And how much you can do, right, as a claim manager to say, I don't want to give you the money unless the fraud. But there are many things we can do at the upfront through the channel, through the customer engagement, know your customer, and also a proper risk assessment through the underwriting part. And nowadays, because a lot of information data really available in the market, if we got the customer consent, then actually that we can do a lot better job to better understand and predict the future, like the claim experience. So that is, I think, the very powerful weapon that we can use to make the overall thing, from the insurer, reinsurer is profitable, and from the customer, actually, they get the right protection. Yeah.
Cindy, you're going full stack. And do you want to share any views from your perspective?
I think there are many different types of business models for InsureTechs because it's just such a big value chain. Our vision is simple, right? When you look 30 years in the future, will there be new entrant players or would you still see the same players? So I think we feel that there should always be healthy competition, new entrants, but obviously the most important thing is still collaboration. That's the key word as well, because whether we're full stack or not, if you know us a little bit better, we're also with an ecosystem within ourselves, right? We also have a licensed non-life and life brokerage house. We have our own insurance company that we underwrite, and totally agree with Philip that insurance is risk. It's so abstract that you can underwrite almost anything in this world, but it takes years of expertise to build for just one single type of product class. So going full stack is also very different for us. We're not a marketplace where we claim to know every single vertical. We focus on verticals that we believe would drive the demand of our retail consumers and SME customers in the future. And that's health, EV, gadgets or smartphones. So I think we go deeper into that vertical, and everything else we collaborate. right? And there's so many things that we can collaborate on. We can export our AI, machine learning, or platform solutions, but our key view is that we need to test it on ourselves first, move first, show how it could work, and iterate, right? Startups and tech companies are trying to scale and build a company in a short span of time. And the whole point of startup is innovation. You try MVP 1, it doesn't work, come back again, and keep iteration until you get it right. So I think that's where we are okay to take the high risk and high return, and we have very good backers with us who understands that, who understands that kind of way of innovation. It's through cycles, and it's a long journey, and it's of course capital intensive as well because we underwrite the risk as well. We're very focused on retail. So we don't focus and underwrite the risk for commercial because that's massive, right? So I think that's why, but it's compelling for us because in the future, I think it will be retail, it will be your MSMEs in Indonesia, 60 million of them, who's going to be your future SMEs and large enterprises. So we focus on the risk that we're more familiar with, and everything else we collaborate as well. So I think even though we're full stack, we compete and collaborate. I think that's how we work.
Thanks, Cindy.
Yeah.
We have a lot of interesting questions coming in, but unfortunately we are running out of time. We are already over time. Maybe instead of using any more time to repeat things and summarize things, I'll just ask Anand to take 30 seconds to talk about a very interesting question, which is agency is largely a part-time profession. How are you using technology to make it more productive?
Yeah, I think we do a lot of stuff for the agents. I mean, everything else other than the time they spend in terms of client interaction and advising the customer, we take care of, be it marketing, lead management, in terms of CRM, claims, any other kind of servicing support. The tech platform provides to the agent, and that's how we also spend a lot. I didn't mention this. We spend a lot of time on training. We have an e-learning platform through which they can learn about new products and new ideas to grow their business, develop their skills. So those are the various things we do.
Thanks, Anand. Thank you, everyone. We are pretty much on time, but we have taken a few extra minutes. So I think before we get kicked off,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.